Today it's June 20th, 2014. This episode we're going to feature PhotoMotion by East Coast Pixels coming up. Hi everyone, Tim Brown. Welcome back to my Apple Podcast. For this episode, I'm going to feature another video editing application by East Coast Pixels, and it's called PhotoMotion. What I like most about this application is the ease of use and the quality of the final product. If you're not familiar with East Coast Pixels, they make some fine applications including Photo Toaster and Untitled FX. So let's go ahead and take a look at this application. This is what the home screen looks like when you first open the application. To begin, you just select New Project. When you select a new project, it immediately takes you to your camera roll. And the app is called PhotoMotion, so the idea is to bring in a group of photos that you're going to in turn make an animated video with. So I'm going to go ahead and select 6 photos here. My wife actually is a very good collage artist, so I'm going to go ahead and select 6 of her most recent collages. And I'm going to click the check symbol in the top right corner to bring them into the project. And as you can see, all of them are now flush left in one column. Each photo you can select separately for editing purposes. So starting with the top photo, let's just go ahead actually right above that and just select that menu there so you can see what kind of options you have. The first options with the horizontal bars brings up a drop-down menu, and you can add more photos to your project from here. You can delete the photo that is currently selected. You can duplicate that photo, and you can edit in Photo Toaster or select Help for an explanation or more instructions. I'm going to go ahead and actually select Edit in Photo Toaster. As I mentioned before, that is also an application designed by East Coast Pixels, and watch what happens when you select it. You bounce to that application, and immediately you are given the same menu that you would have if you were actually using that app. And when you're done with the edits, you just click the check mark, and then it takes you right back to the application. You can do each photo this way, which is really cool. Now, next to that is the settings icon, and when you select that, you see you have several options for the video format. You can select the square, the 1:1 aspect ratio, which is typically the format used for Instagram videos. You could also select the standard definition format, which is 4:3, and or widescreen, which is 16:9. I'm going to stick with the 1:1 aspect ratio or the square format. Now you see with the transitions too, you have 4 options. You can choose not to have a transition, have a fade, or have it fade to white or black. You can also control the photo duration as well. In this case, it's selected as 3 seconds by default, but you can just slide this across back and forth to adjust the length of each image. And then there are photo filters. We already experimented with that, but here you're giving a small select number of filters that you can add right inside the app without having to bounce to Photo Toaster. But as you can see, Photo Toaster is still an option here in the far right, and if you select that, it will likewise open up the application. Now let's go ahead and bring up the settings icon once again, because I want you to also see the title style. And if you're familiar with the other application that East Coast Pixels makes, it's called Untitled FX, and it's a really cool app, and it allows you to use really cool fonts and to control not only the color of the font but the background color of the font as well. And you see the same options here. It's a great option to have when adding fonts. It just gives your video slideshow an element of coolness. I don't know what else to say. And then below that, there's a way to position your title. So it can be flush left, flush right, top or bottom. And another thing I really like too is the ability to add music that is built inside the application. The reason why I like it personally is, I like my own music, but if you post online a lot like I do, you're going to get a message from YouTube or Facebook. In some cases, you won't even get a message from Facebook. They just simply will not accept your video post because they're going to recognize that your song belongs to certain copyright domain. So rather than go through that headache, choose the music that comes in the library. And they actually have some pretty nice choices. I'm going to go ahead and play a couple samples for you. So here's a nice mellow piano. Turn it up just a little bit. And then there's Mozart strings with choir. Fashion show. So you see you have some pretty nice options. I'm going to go ahead and just select that. And that's built inside the app. Now you can choose to show the watermark or hide the watermark. And you can have the end of the presentation fade to white or black, or again, select none. So I'm going to select black. Great. So those are the options up top. There's a play button as well. That simply will just play your presentation back for you. I'm not prepared to do that just yet because I want to go over a few more features. So with that first image selected along the top, you see that you still have some editing options here. So if you select the pencil tool next to the photo, you see here that you have options for fading in your photo. Basically like a Ken Burns effect. If you're familiar with iMovie or some of those applications that come with these sort of fixed transitions where you can start an image in one place and then end it in another, that's what PhotoMotion allows you to do as well. So for example, this is the start position, and let's just say I want to focus on the center of her body. But when it ends, I want it to come up to her face, like so. And I'll go ahead and play that back. That's exactly how it will play in the slideshow. Pretty cool. Now, as you can see, the duration is at 3 seconds by default, and that's fine with me. I'm going to leave it there. I'm satisfied with the filter. I'm satisfied with the title position, so I'm going to click check. And you go through each slide that way. Now, next to the pencil tool is another option, too. It basically gives you the option to explore multiple options for the start and end positions. You just keep pressing it and it'll keep generating different positions that you could possibly use. So check this out. Just keep pressing. And as you can see, I'm getting more and more different configurations for how my transitions could be. Pretty cool. And sometimes it's just fun just doing it that way. And another option too is adding titles. So this is where you can also control the content as far as adding titles go. So if I just went in here and just typed in collage, hit the check mark, it is centered. But in the settings menu, I have it so that the text will appear bottom left. So when I go ahead and play this back, there it is. And you notice I also chose the font type with the transparent or translucent background. And you go through and just handle each photo that way. Each one has the option to use the edit tool or to play around with the different positions and to add titles. So I'm just going to explore some other options with the other two just to add some diversity to my presentation. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and play this back and see what it looks like. So as you can see, PhotoMotion is an excellent application. Only costs $1.99 in the App Store. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of My Apple Podcast. My name is Tim Brown. Check me out at myapplepodcast.com or check me out at youtube.com/myapplepodcast. See you later.